Hi everyone, Rebecca Renfrow here, Presidential Diamond with It Works Global, and I just had the pleasure of listening to an audio recording of a conference call by Richard Fitton. I want to make sure I say their names right. Richard Fitton and Andrea Waltz, who are the authors of Go for No. Here's the book. I've actually read this book numerous times before, and I am a true advocate and believer in the message that they share. But after hearing them in person or hearing them in audio, actually hearing them live in this conference call, I just was struck with so many great motivational tips and just a new leash on the concept of Go for No. And I want to share it with all of you because I really believe that it takes the concept of success versus failure and helps you to see that actually they go together and they work together. So I'm just going to get started. I've taken some notes and some things that I want to share with you. So bear with me looking down at my notes. I want to make sure that I say the right things. And they've used some verbiage and some quotes in their video. I'm sorry, it wasn't a video. It was their conference call. In that call that really stood out to me and I think really speak to us that are in network marketing. So I work for It Works Global. I'm an independent distributor with them, and I believe that this concept of Go for No has completely changed my business. And after listening to this call, I've even more rejuvenated and excited about this concept, and I'm excited to try and implement and really go for no even more. So the story, the book Go for No is actually written in a narrative format, and it's like a fable, so it's a story that could really happen but didn't happen. But the concept is about this man who, falls asleep or bumps his head and ends up waking up into another time period. And he meets himself, and he sees a totally different himself. His old self was a salesman or is a salesman, and he would have a set amount of people that he wanted to talk to that week and try to make a certain amount of sales. So hear a certain amount of yeses. And once he would hear those couple of yeses early on in the week, and maybe his goal was 5 yeses, but he would hear 2 of them early on, then he would give himself a break and slow down a little bit. And I think he went golfing, and he just got really distracted because he'd already gotten those yeses. So he sat back and got really confident and wasn't able to reach his quota at the end of the week for the number of yeses he was going for, because once he got those yeses, he was calm and really kind of took a break kind of thing. And I think we can all relate to that. Any of us that are in any type of industry where we have a product or service for sale, or even an opportunity for sale, like we do somewhat selling that in It Works or in any other network marketing company. Once we hear that yes, we can breathe and we slow down a little bit and give ourselves a break. But what the character in the book finds when he wakes up and he meets his self in a different time, in a different kind of realm of his life, he realizes that man, that himself in that world, that his goal is to hear as many no's as possible. Because the concept is that if you have a goal for as many no's as you can get in, say, a week or a month time frame, then the yeses are automatically going to come. But when you hear the yes, you're not going to stop or take a break. You're going to actually be working harder because your goal is to get as many no's as possible. So when we change our frame of mind and our goal to be able to reach more no's and like our goal is to hear no more times, and our goal is to maybe hear, say, 10 no's in the week, then even if we hear 5 yeses at the beginning of the week, we haven't met our goal yet. So we continue to work for the no, and therefore we get more yeses in the process. So the concept, and I believe it to be true, it's not a concept, it is the truth, that in order to succeed, you must fail over and over again. A lot of people think, here's failure, and I want to avoid that as much as possible. So if I find myself failing, if I find myself hearing no over and over again, or even one time, I want to turn away from that and head to the yes, or head to success. And they see success and failure as being two very different locations, and that you can't get to success. You want to avoid failure in order to get to success, and that's actually not true. That the truth is that here is success, and that we must fail along the way in order to reach success. So the concept and the truth is that you must hear no or fail many times to get to success. You cannot get to a successful point unless you've actually failed along the way. And if you and I can realize that and embrace that and get excited about that, then we're going to find much more success. So here's a few notes that I took along the way from the video call that I listened to. With It Works, we have some simple steps to success, and those are our goals for each month. Those are our yes goals. So our goal in our company is that we want to gather 4 loyal customers every month, and we want to have 3 distributors join our team every month. So that's our yes goal. So that's what we're working for, and It Works. So, and those are our steps to success that unlock every part of our compensation plan. And it's a very, very valuable tool that those of us who work for that are successful in the company. You can't help but be successful if that is your goal and that's what you're working for every month. But let's put that aside for a minute and think about our goals being the no's. That we know the steps to success, or whatever your system is, will be met and accomplished because that's your success side, if we focus on getting as many no's as possible to get there. So our goal will actually be the no's that we are trying to accomplish, which in fact will create the success of the steps to success over here. So think about changing your mind frame. I'm changing my mind frame to not just steps to success and 4 customers and 3 distributors, but actually how many no's can I possibly get, because that's what will come of it. That's the success that will come of it. So setting goals of how many no's we can get in place of how many yeses we can get, because the yeses will come in response to the no's. One of the things they said that I found to be very cool and so interesting and true is that most people spend their career trying to avoid the word no and only looking for the yes. So that's what we talked about with, people seeing them in 2 different places when actually they go together. And they talked about people who view their success that way. Yeses is what they go for, no's is what they try to avoid, that they are mediocre in their career at best. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be mediocre. I want to be the best that I can be. And so I want to start to embrace the word no and work for the word no and see the word no as my steps to get to the success part. So, by the way, guys, I talk with my hands a lot. I hope that's not distracting for you. I feel like I can't talk without my hands, so that's just me. So, having a no goal is super critical to our success. And the reason, like I mentioned earlier with the author or the character in the book, Go for No, by the way, it's Richard Fenton and Andrea Waltz that actually wrote Go for No. It is a short book. You can read it in about an hour and a half's time. And the cool part about this book is it is literally just like written like a story, so it's actually fun to read. So like in the book, when we have yes as our goal, and we hear a yes, we're like, oh, I can breathe. I'm going to slow down now. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go get a massage. I'm going to go play golf. I'm going to go shopping for some shoes. I'm going to slow down and feel comfortable now because I've heard that yes for today or that week or whatever. And that slows us down in our business. But if our goal was actually, I got to hear 10 no's this week, and by the end of the week we've heard 9, even though maybe we've gotten 5 yeses, we're sitting at 9 no's, and we know our goal is 10, and we just keep going for that next no. You never know. That may provide or produce 4 more yeses to get to the no. So if our goal is no's, then we are going to find the yeses in the process. But if our goal is a yes, and always the word yes, then we're going to sit back and enjoy things and take a break when things are, when we heard that no, it's going to feel easy, we're going to feel comfortable, we're going to want to take that break. And then they also talked about your presentation. We get caught up in, I know I do, I want my presentation to be perfect. I want to have the right words, I want to know what I'm going to say, I want to feel confident in what I say. And I can practice that approach, I can practice that presentation, I can sit in front of the mirror and watch myself saying it, and I can get so caught up in practicing my presentation and feeling like I have to know exactly what I'm going to say, when I'm going to say it, how I'm going to say it, when I'm going to listen, when I'm going to talk, and all that and get so focused on that I never actually present it to anyone, because I'm never going to have it perfect, and I can get caught up in thinking it's got to be perfect, it's got to be the best that it can be before I do it, when actually all I'm doing is stalling. And I know that if I go out there and just do it and present it, I'm going to get better. I'm going to be better at it. So focus on quantity versus quality in this particular situation. So the number of shots you take, this is a quote that they use, the number of shots you take is more important than how well you do the presentation. Because if you never take the shot, you can't find success. So another thing they used, the 3 U words. They said unseen, untold, unsold. So unseen, untold, unsold. So it means if no one sees you or sees it and you don't tell it, you're never going to sell. So you have to just talk about it. You have to present your ideas. I'm going to present it to as many people as I can to get that quantity in there, to get as many no's as I can, because then it will produce the quality that I'm asking for. So selling is nothing more, another quote from them, selling is nothing more than telling your story to as many people as you can, as fast as you can. So you hear people say, I'm not a salesman. You know what? I don't view myself as a salesman either, but I can sure tell my story over and over and over again. Everybody can tell their story. That's why the beauty of network marketing is that we have a story to tell. We use our products. We are a product of our product. Therefore, telling the story of how the product works for us is simple. It's a piece of cake. It's just telling our story. So selling is nothing more than telling your story to as many people as you can, as fast as you can. So quantity over quality in this state, in this situation, is better than quality versus quantity. We want to tell it as many times as we can to as many people as we can in order to get as many no's as we can and grow and learn and get better in the process by practicing it and doing it, by doing it more. And then we're going to get yeses all in that process, okay? The worst presentation, another thing they said, the worst presentation is better than the perfect presentation that is never told. Again, the more we focus on practicing and making it the best that it can be, the less we're actually telling it to real life people. So the worst presentation is better than the best presentation that's never told. And I love their concept. I've heard this before, and I love the way that they elaborated on it. But they talked about some will, this is a mind frame that we need to have as we're going for the word no. Some will, some won't, so what, someone's waiting. Okay, so if we can adopt this philosophy, this belief system in our hearts, some will, some won't, so what, someone's waiting, then we can really understand that a no just means, so what, it's okay, there's someone else out there looking for it as well. And then the no's don't bother us as much. I love this concept of go for no, because when you're going for the no, it gets to be fun and exciting. I don't know about you, but before I learned about this concept and before I even started practicing it, the word no was not fun. You know, we've been taught in our society as we've grown up that no is a bad word. We don't want to fail. We want to succeed. We succeed at things that we're good at, and we want to succeed. We want to avoid failure at all costs. We want to avoid the word no. And so it wasn't fun for me hearing the word no. But by changing my mind frame, reading this book, listening to this conference call, my ideas of the word no have completely changed, and it's exciting to me and starts to become like a game. So whenever we can make anything fun, we're going to want to do it more often. So the concept of some will, some won't, so what, someone's waiting makes it fun and exciting, and you know that there are plenty of people out there that are waiting to say yes to you. So the other thing that I've learned through experience, I've learned through coaching of my leaders, through my leadership, and I've learned through reading this book and listening to this conference call, is that no doesn't mean no. Never. It means not right now. No doesn't mean never. It means not right now. So they gave us some numbers on this conference call that are really exciting and that prove the point that no doesn't mean never. It just means not right now. And here's why. They said there was a study done And 44% of people give up after they hear the first no. 44% of people give up after they hear the first no. That's a lot. Then it says that 22% of people give up after they hear the second no. And then 14% of people give up after the third no, and 12% of people give up after the fourth no. So 44%, 22%, 14%, and 12%, 1, 2, 3, and 4th no. Okay, those people give up. They stop asking, they start making the phone call, they count it out. They say that person is never going to try my product, never going to give me a yes. So that means that 92% of people, so if we add those up, 92% of people give up before getting the 5th no. Okay? So that means there's 8% of us out there, 8% of people will go for the 5th no. So 92% of people give up before the 5th no. But this is the cool part, is that 60% of all customers say no 4 times before they finally say yes. So 60% of people will say no, 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 no. And then on the 5th time, they will say yes. So the 5th time is key. And the 8% of people who stick around and don't give up, who stay in the game and ask for the 5th no, will actually get a yes. So that person, that 60% of people, will say yes on the 5th time they see something about the product or get asked about the product or get introduced to it or shared with them. So they have to have heard it 5 times before they'll say yes. So only 8% of the population of people that are in this type of industry that have a product or service to actually sell to someone, 8% of people will actually go for the 5th, will ask someone the 5th time and try to work for that no and then get that yes at the 5th time. So I don't know about you, but I want to be in that 8%. I choose to stay in the game. And that's all we have to do is stay in the game. This concept of some will, some won't, so what, some are waiting, the cool thing is that some are waiting people might be in their 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th time of hearing about that product. So I want to stay in the game. And so I always have that list of people who have told me no that I'm constantly revisiting because I want to get to that 5th time when they actually say yes. So I'm going to stay in the game, and I always have a list working and people to actually talk to because when I hear the word no, it doesn't mean never. It just means not right now. So I have to contact them, reach out to them, and ask them again because today may be the time that they're ready to say yes. So thinking about all of those concepts, there's this analogy, this picture that goes around Facebook, and it's this miner, and he's underground. There's 2 miners in the picture. And you see on the side of the picture the diamonds that they're both going for, that they're both working for. And one miner is going across the top, and he's almost about to get to the diamonds, and he gives up. He puts his axe on his shoulder, and he turns back around, and he was like this close to reaching the diamonds, but he gave up too early. He was one of the 92% of people that gave up too early. He didn't keep going for the no. He didn't ask them again. He didn't keep going until he hit the diamond. He gave up. He was one of the 92% of people. He gave up. But then you have the miner at the bottom of the picture, and he has struck the diamonds. He has reached his goal. He has succeeded. He has found his success because he kept going and didn't hit it. He got no, 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 no. And then he hit his yes. And he was successful. He was one of the 8% that stayed in the game. So I challenge all of you, and myself included, to stay in the game. Let's be the 8%. Let's change our mind frame that no is actually a great word. It means we're getting closer to the yes. Let's change our goals. Let's have goals of how many no's can we hear this week, or how many no's can we hear this month. And in the process of that, we'll find our success. And it works. It's our steps to success. And we will have a fun time doing it. We'll get excited. Every time we hear the word no, we will be thrilled and excited because we know it's getting us closer to our diamonds or closer to our success. So let's all challenge and work together to go for no. Recognize that no is in the process of getting to the yeses, and let's all commit to being the 8% that doesn't give up, that stays in the game. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening.